Two neighboring powerhouses, USA and Canada. Both admired, but only one truly excels. Which one really delivers? On the left, the world's largest economy, the USA, marked by dynamic growth. And on the right, Canada, the resource-rich neighbor known for its stable progress. Let's skip the buzzwords and get to the real stuff. Each category earns points, and at the end, you'll see exactly who comes out on top. The result might not be what you expect. Let's quickly lay out the categories we're looking at today just to keep things clear. First up, GDP growth for 2025, then inflation and purchasing power, unemployment and labor market, trade and export performance, business investment, interest rates and monetary policy, and finally, economic forecast for 2026. We'll stack these side by side for the USA and Canada, so you get the full picture. Alright, kicking things off with GDP growth for 2025. So the US, honestly, it's flexing here. There was this Q2 rebound of about 3.3%. Consumers are spending like crazy, and get this, AI's actually helping productivity for real, not just in those flashy headlines. Of course, there's still some drama. Tariffs are causing a bit of inflation, and trade policy, let's just say politicians keep us guessing. Oh, and heads up, the pace is expected to cool a bit in 2026, so don't get too hyped. Now, Canada had a pretty strong start to the year. January and Q1 looked decent, tracking near 2% annual growth, leveraging all those USMCA trade perks. But then, yikes, Q2 contracted by 1.6%, mostly because exports to the US dropped off a cliff. The forecast just isn't as booming, so winner for GDP growth. Subtly, it's the US, just look at those numbers. Next category, let's talk inflation and purchasing power. The US expects CPI to settle around 2.9%, higher than some want, but it's coming down to about 2.3% by 2027, so, optimism. Americans are still spending, but tariffs and unpredictable imports are making things more expensive, not gonna lie. On the flip side, Canada's rocking a lower inflation rate around 2%, helped out by removing the carbon tax. Wages are actually keeping up, which is a win for regular Canadians. They are dealing with some counters on tariffs and import price spikes, but overall, people are getting a little more for their money. If I had to pick, Canada quietly takes it for inflation and purchasing power this round. Let's jump to unemployment and labor market. The US has some cool things going. Productivity is way up, AI is opening up new jobs, and even immigration is helping meet demand. But something to watch, the unemployment rate, ticking up to 4.8%, and believe it or not, economists are giving even odds for a recession. That's a little spooky, right? Over in Canada, layoffs are basically not happening, plus the central bank keeps cutting rates, which is huge. Employment is steady, and for 2025 they're keeping things boring, which is actually what you want in a labor market. There's not much wage explosion, but job stability, that's solid. Canada clearly comes out ahead for labor market stability. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know USMCA trade exemptions have kept Canada's effective tariff rate in the mid to high single digits? That's actually way below what other US trading partners are dealing with. It's not a silver bullet, but it definitely gives Canada a bit of a trade advantage compared to, say, the EU or China. Okay, zooming into trade and export performance. The US saw positive export growth, not massive, but 0.6% up in 2025, and there might be a better rebound next year as they're diversifying. But classic US, there's always tariff drama, and policy debates makes things interesting but volatile. Now, Canada landed some USMCA exemptions, so their tariffs aren't as rough as people expected. Despite that, Q2 was tough with exports dropping, and honestly they're still not back to pre-tariff levels. Way too much trade is tied to the US market. So while Canada has some advantages, the US takes this one on overall export performance. Next up is business investment. The US is in a groove with AI-related spending, and businesses are betting big on productivity boosts, that's for sure. The only hesitation. Trade uncertainty means some sectors are being a bit cautious and dealing with extra planning costs. Canada has some government stimulus cooking and support for sectors hurt by trade shifts, which sounds great, but the reality? Machinery investment is basically crawling, slowest it's been since 2016. Q2 really stung, and business confidence isn't super high. US is the clear winner. If you want growth, they've got the edge. Switching gears to interest rates and monetary policy. So the US Fed is keeping things flexible, and they're doing what they can to support consumers. Labor market is still their guiding light. But they've got higher inflation to handle, and policy is anything but chill. In Canada, it's different. rate cuts are actually happening, and the Bank of Canada is targeting a 2.75% overnight rate, making mortgages and borrowing a bit easier. Plus, household wealth is looking better up north. Their only challenge is there's not much room left for more cuts, so fingers crossed for smooth sailing. If I gotta declare a winner, it's definitely Canada for interest rate moves and policy clarity. Finally, economic forecast for 2026. IMF is predicting the US to grow by about 1.9%, not fireworks but still topping other advanced economies. They're hanging onto better productivity, but it's not as hot as it used to be, with tariffs and ongoing uncertainty sticking around. In Canada, forecasts show an uptick in GDP as exports and their economy adapt, but it's a slower path, only about 1.1% growth with some risk of outright contraction if things escalate. So in terms of momentum, the US is holding onto that edge heading into 2026. Let's pull all of this together side by side. You can see the strengths and weak spots. On a radar chart, the US generally outpaces in GDP growth, exports, business investment, and future forecasts. Meanwhile, Canada's steady wins in inflation, labor market stability, and interest rate flexibility shine through. My raw takeaway here? The US is still the go-to if you want robust near-term growth and you're excited about tech-driven productivity, even if some volatility comes with the package. Canada, though, it's built for people who like a smoother ride, lower inflation, steady employment, and reliable policy moves, although growth is definitely slower. So growth investors are gonna look at the US, but if you want to sleep well at night, Canada just makes sense. If you found this comparison helpful, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss the next economic update.